The Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association presents Freshman Focus, a look at 2-year-olds in training across the Buckeye State. Freshman Focus is presented by Eldorado Scioto Downs, now racing Tuesday through Saturday, post time 5:45. By Sugar Valley Farm. Looking for your next quality standardbred racehorse? Look no further than Sugar Valley Farm in Delaware, Ohio. By Prolific Equine, managing stallions and mares to create champions. By the Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center, caring down to a science. And by Wire-to-Wire Wealth, strategies tailored to your needs.
We've made our way to the Delaware County Fairgrounds, the home of the Little Brown Jug, for this week's edition of Freshman Focus. We're going to be talking with trainer Ron Steck about his 10 Ohio breds in training this season. After this message, we'll sit down and talk with trainer Ron Steck.
At Ohio State's Galbraith Equine Center, our veterinary champions are here for your champions 24/7, 365 days a year, providing advanced specialty care for sports horses from all stages and disciplines. Our expert team of boarded surgeons and sports medicine and rehabilitation specialists, together with veterinary cardiologists, internal medicine, and ophthalmologists, make our hospital your best resource for all sports horse performance issues. The Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center's Galbraith Equine Hospital. Call us today at 614-292-6661.
Welcome back to Freshman Focus, as we're going to sit down and talk with trainer Ron Steck. Ronnie, first of all, let's talk about the family. You got to be mighty proud of your son, Ranger.
Yep, he's just going to get started here. We started a little bit last year, but we didn't have a great output here at Delaware. He missed a gate by about a quarter of a mile, and but he started matineeing this year and has done well.
Now, you can tell him that if he doesn't like the harness racing career, we might have a career in broadcasting for him.
Well, I don't know. We'll see how that goes, but he did do a good job on his first one.
Up there at Urbana.
Yep.
Seemed like a seasoned professional. Now, your daughter also involved in day-to-day operations?
Yep, she kind of runs the racing part of the deal, the paddocks and all that stuff. She goes about every night, so it helps me out a lot.
How many horses you got this year?
We're pushing 30.
30?
Yeah.
Is that one of your larger numbers that you've had over the years?
Yeah, I mean, I had up to 40 at one point, and I keep telling myself I'm going to try to slow down a little bit, get to 15 or 20, but this year that didn't work. We ended up with 30.
How many of them are Ohio bred 2-year-olds?
All my 2-year-olds, but 3 are Ohio's. So there's 12. 12.
Well, we're going to take a look at 10 of them today, and right off the bat, I noticed you got 4 down by the seasides this year.
Yeah, yep. Some of my owners, they dipped in and spent a little money this year, and we tried to upgrade the stock. Last year, we didn't quite have what we wanted, so we went a little bigger this year.
You got a Catch the Fire, Cretin, Lather Up, In Range, Marseille. Just kind of spread it out.
Yeah, some of them are homebreds. Some my mare, and then some of my partners' mares that we bred and then just kept them.
I think the last time we talked to you was going into some fractional ownership. Are you still having that?
We have a little bit of it, not as much anymore. A lot of these guys that were partners in those buying more parts, halves, and some of them bought the whole horse.
Well, in a way, that's what you want from fractional ownership, for them to have a nice experience and then get involved a little more heavy.
Yep, exactly. So it's worked out good, really.
That's okay. Now, break it down. For one reason or another, and I don't know why, and it's probably not fair, but I always put Ron Steck with trotters. But you do dominate with pacers, don't you?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's just the trotting game's a little tougher than it used to be. They go as fast as the pacers now, but it's just preference on some of the owners that like pacers better than trotters.
Yeah.
I still love training trotters. I mean, that's a lot of fun, but it's a lot of headache.
A lot of headaches. Yeah. I thought they all give you headaches.
Well, trotters will give you more.
Yeah. Now, you had a driving career at one time, but you've given up driving. I think you've only had 2 or 3 drives a year for the last few years. Just age catching up with you?
Well, that, and it's just the younger guys are just a little better now. I mean, there's still guys that do it and have great success at it, but for me, I would rather just train and get them ready and let them boys.
In the old days, Billy Houghton once told me, I said, Billy, why are you now using Bill O'Donnell? And he says, and I couldn't understand it because I thought Billy Houghton walked on clouds and everything was just the greatest there was. I says, what are you doing? He says, Billy is a fifth of a second better than I am.
I agree with that. I mean, these guys nowadays, Danny and Paige and all of them, they make horses go fast, and I have a lot of success with those guys.
Here in Ohio, it's a year-round operation anymore. You race primarily at Maumee Valley, Dayton, and Scioto, sometimes up at Northfield as well. So do you shop for conditions at various racetracks?
Yeah, Northfield is, for me, we've done well there in the fall and the winter months. We keep a few around to race, but it's just kind of some of the cheaper ones fit up there a little bit better than they do at the other places.
What's it mean to have a stable here at Delaware, Ohio, and training horses and training them here on this half-mile track?
Yeah, I love it here. I mean, we had our own farm for a lot of years, and they do a great job. We got a new track man. He's doing great. And it's just the people here. We all get along, help each other out when we can, and it's just it's very nice here.
Now, a lot of people train on home tracks and some county fair tracks and such as that. Those are ideal half-mile track shaped wise, but Delaware is almost shaped like a 5/8 mile track.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of trouble with horses getting around, the turns and stuff here. If you can, if they can go, they can train right here, and you're ready when you leave.
In your career over the years, I see 1,559 winning drives, and back in those days, that's a lot of wins, but the purses were only like $5 million. It's changed here in the Buckeye State.
Yeah, we go for a lot of money here, and I wish it was like that when I drove, because that would have helped out a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just great, the money we go for.
You got a shot to get more training wins than you have driving wins, because your training wins stand at 1,435, and money for those horses have earned $9 million, and you're on your way to $10 million.
Yeah, well, we hope that keeps going.
Yeah.
I mean, for sure. But yeah, we can hope that we can win some this summer.
Now, at 56 years old, going to train for a few more years?
Oh yeah. I mean, I feel good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's I hope to be able to train for a lot of years.
Yeah. Did you ever have thoughts going way back as a youngster of doing something different than training horses?
Well, there's times that it gets 7 days a week. It gets old, but. No, that's all I've ever wanted to do is train horses. I mean, I never have done anything else.
Yeah.
I mean, I started in high school, and I never really ever had another job.
A lot of parents involved in harness racing don't want their youngsters to go through what you've gone through in your early days and getting settled, but you don't feel that way about Parker and Ranger did?
Well, you know, Parker is a registered nurse.
Yeah.
She went to school for that, and I keep telling her all the time, you know, go do what you want to do. You know, if this is what she wants to do.
Hey, don't forget. I mean, look at Mike Wilder. Scarlett is a critical care nurse and spends most of her time at the barn.
Yep, that's what Parker. She just she loves the horses, and she owns a lot of horses with us. And Ranger, you know, he's starting to get into some of the owner part of it, you know, but you know, Kyla does. You know, she gets very nervous with Ranger because, you know, she watched when I drove a lot and wrecks and things like that. She gets awful nervous about that, but we couldn't do none of this without her.
Now, I got to be honest. Now, I don't know if you had something to do this morning, but your wife got here about a half hour, 45 minutes before you did.
Yeah, she's a go-getter. I mean, she works 2 jobs. She works at a little restaurant in the evenings 3 or 4 days a week, and she won't stop, I can tell you that.
She doesn't make it to the track when they race very often then.
Sometimes if she's not there, she'll go with me, but most of the time she just works all the time.
The wildest thing is, and we've seen this with so many trainers this year, it's so much easier, so to speak, when the whole family's with you day in and day out.
Yeah. I mean, you know, like I say, you know, Kyla's the feed, you know, medications, things like that. She takes care of all that, and the kids, you know, we do the horses.
It takes a lot of the pressure off of you.
Yes, it does. I couldn't do it without them. I mean, they do a great job.
Well, Ron, we're going to, Ashley's going to take you through the barn and take a look at your young 2-year-olds, and we wish you a lot of luck this year with them, because right now you think you got some, but you really don't know until they qualify and get to the race.
No, you have no clue. I mean, they've all been pretty good so far, but until we throw them behind the gate, we have no clue.
So after this message, Ron and Ashley Daly will go through the barn and take a closer look at his 10 Ohio breds in training here on Freshman Focus.
Captain Kirk is standing his 2nd year in 2025 here in the state of Ohio, and he's attracting some of the best brood mares in the entire industry. You want to breed to a stallion that can step your mare up. And if you're breeding to sell those foals, you have to breed to the stallion that the biggest bidders will pay a premium to acquire. Captain Kirk stands at Winterwood Farm, and his introductory stud fee of only $3,000 ends after the 2025 season. So book your mare today. Write down this website. Go to CaptainKirkInfo.com to get all the details right now.
With over 30 years of experience in wealth planning and a lifetime of involvement in harness racing, Matt Franklin at Wire to Wire Wealth can help you build a financial plan that addresses the unique circumstances of those involved in the horse racing industry. Whether you are investing to build wealth, protect your family, or preserve your assets, Matt at Wire to Wire Wealth will work with you through the wealth planning process from start to finish.
Racing is back at El Dorado Scioto Downs. Catch the excitement all summer long. Live racing every Tuesday through Saturday nights. First race post time is 5:45. Mark your calendar to see the future stars with a $150,000 Next Generation on July 5th. Thrilling harness racing at El Dorado Scioto Downs. Horse players can earn points with the Caesars Reward Program. El Dorado Scioto Downs. Live racing is back.
Welcome back to Freshman Focus. Roger Houston just finished up with his interview, so let's go ahead and head inside and check out 10 of Ron Steck's up-and-coming Ohio 2-year-olds. Our first stop is Sunny's in the Sea, a gelding pacer by Down by the Seaside out of the Bomb Dottie, a Western Terror mare. Say, Ron, this comes from a pretty nice family.
Yeah, we own the mare, and we've sold most of them. For some reason I end up with them back, but no Crying in Uber, extra suds, which Virgil has him. But this colt sold last year in Lexington, and I think he brought 40. And my partners, which own No Crying in Uber, wanted to buy him, so we ended up buying him back.
say his half sibling, Extra Suds, like you mentioned, Virgil trains. Extra Suds has made over 150, has a mark in 150 and 2. And you also trained a full sibling, Dottie's Seashell, right?
Yep, that's a sister to him, yep.
What are these characteristics that you like about these foals?
Well, they're very good feeling horses, and they all seem to be able to go. So I think this colt's been around 2-3 and be ready to qualify here shortly.
He's a player. We
Yeah,
can see
he's
him.
ornery.
I say we can see him messing around even on the track.
Yeah, that's why he's a gelding, because he was awful aggressive when he was still a stud. So we gelded him, and we'll see what happens.
Was he easy to break? Do you farm yours out to get them broken?
Matter of fact, this year I broke all of them. We normally had sent some off, but my daughter, my son, my nephew Hunter, we just tore into them and got them all broke.
And what is he training down in right now?
He's been in 2-3.
And that is Sunny's in the Sea. Seaside Angel, a filly pacer, is our next stop. She is down by the seaside out of a Band of Angels, a rock and roll heaven mare. The Band of Angels was very nice herself. She made almost $500,000 in her career.
Yeah. Like I say, I can't say nothing bad about her. I mean, she can be a little aggressive, but nothing terrible. But she's been the same. They pretty much all these pacers have been right around 2-3.
And so we have a lot of Seasides on the list. We've had trainers kind of all over the place saying that Seasides this year are very aggressive or lazy. So
Yeah.
it sounds like she's on the aggressive side.
Yep, she doesn't. There's no laziness in her. That's for sure. She likes to do her work.
What's she doing on the track right now?
Same thing, 2-3. We worked them all the other day, and come a half and 59 with them, and all the pacers is pretty much the same.
Have you had to do much rigging changing with her, or she's been easy?
She wears nothing, no poles, no nothing. Just a pair of knee boots, tenon boots, and down the track.
Before we started filming, I was kind of loving on her. She seems to be a sweetheart.
Yeah,
in the
she's
stall.
really nice in the barn. Yeah, no problems at all.
And that is Seaside Angel. Another filly pacer, Bethany Beach, once again down by the seaside out of Clear Ideal, an American Ideal mare. Another one from a very nice family. The mare made over $639 in her career. Ron, are you really looking at mares then when you're purchasing these guys?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we, like I say, the partners, the guys that bought this from Indiana, Bootsville Stable, they, which I own a piece of them too. We did our homework, and we tried to, get what we could for the price that we had, and it seemed to work out fine. I mean, she's probably one of my better fillies. I can't, who knows how fast they'll all go, but this filly is very talented. She's, and she's a little on the warm side too, but very nice filly. I love her.
First thing I noticed when we walked up is how stout
Yeah,
she is. Can you
she's
tell us a little
big,
bit about her conformation?
Wears no equipment either. Low-headed, and she likes to roll.
Any quirks from her from the beginning?
Just the seaside thing, just being hot. That's about it.
When you do have one that's hot, are you opening them up, or what are you doing?
I just opened her up. She wears an ear hood. I've never trained her without an ear hood on. She's had it on ever since we started training, trying to keep her calm. And it worked. I mean, she's not terrible, but if you wanted to rev her up, you could do it pretty easy.
You mentioned that this is probably one of your better fillies. How is she comparing, to our Seaside Angel we just talked to and your other down by the seasides?
I mean, I train the fillies mainly together, and they all go right together, but she just seems to have a little more kick on the end of it than the rest have at this point.
And that is Bethany Beach. Our next stop is filly pacer Cruisin' to the Pier, once again down by the seaside out of Cruisin' to the Dance, a Yankee Cruiser mare. This was a $34,000 purchase out of the Ohio Selected sale.
Yep, she actually, some guys here in Delaware own her with me, and Beth from Anvil and Lace Farm stayed in on her. That's who we bought her from. Her mommy's a very nice mare, and she's had a lot of success. So she's not a big filly, kind of a later foal, but this is one that my son trains all the time. He's took her ever since we started training her, and he's done a good job with her.
What's impressed you about her on the track?
Oh, she's so good gated, and she's not warm at all. She's 2 fingers to drive, and like I say, he sets in with her, and then he just comes flying. So it's worked out good.
So
I like her.
We've already hit 3 filly pacers of our 4 horses that we've seen today. Is that what you're looking for? Do you just like your fillies more?
Well, just the way it worked out this year. But I've always had pretty good luck with mares. So we'll see how this group ends up.
And assuming that she's going with the rest in 2-3?
Yep, they've all been exact the same.
What is she staked to?
She staked everything in Ohio. Yeah, we pretty much did that with all these fillies here, all sire staked and Buckeye and everything here. Nothing outside the state.
That is cruising to the pier. Headed back to our gelding pacers, this is Go Pyromaniac, a Catch the Fire out of Give No Lip, a Big Bad John mare. This is a homebred, actually.
It is. I raced that mare, and she was went a few legs of the sire stakes with her. And this is the first Catch the Fire she's had. She hasn't had a lot of success as a brood mare. She's got a Seaside filly that I really liked that was 3-year-old this year. And but this is a Catch a Fire, and he's a pretty nice guy. I mean, a little hot, but he's a lot hot, really. But she was. So, but like I say, he's been the same 2 and 2-3, but pretty handy.
Is this your first Catch the Fire, though, that you've trained?
It is. It's the first one I've ever had.
Give me your opinion on him so far.
I love him. I mean, like I say, she's been bred to some pretty good horses, and they just haven't turned out. And this thing here stays sound. I mean, he looks like he'll be a race. He'll race.
Have you had any concerns with soundness with him?
Not yet. Just his brain. That's the only thing I've had trouble with. But he's one that I have to take every day because he just you never know what he's going to do. But he's all business training. But that's about the only thing.
Does he want him to make breaks, or what is it about him?
No, he
being
just
hot?
throws his head, and he just wants to beat out. He just wants to go by everybody all the time. So I've been working. He wears an opener. Well, I put can't see backs on him today, but I open him up, just try to let him see things. But he's a big pet of my daughter's too, so maybe that's where he's getting it at.
Do we plan on qualifying him in these upcoming weeks here at Delaware?
I last couple years. Actually, Virgil told me that. I asked him, I said, I qualify these things twice in Delaware, and then the first time I take them, they go to a stake race or sire stake or whatever. Well, it's first time they've shipped. They get nervous, and it just didn't seem to work out very good. So the last few years, I've been going to Scioto. Now, I'm not saying I won't go once here just to get them behind the gate and then maybe go on to Scioto from there, but we'll see how they train tomorrow, and then we'll decide what we're going to do.
I guess that was my question, if you think getting him behind the gate with a field of other horses, if that will make him a little bit more serious.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. He's not scared of that kind of stuff. It's just he's so ornery. He just wants to play all the time. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it works with the qualifying, but I can tell you they're going to be doing something here real quick.
That is Go Pyromaniac. We are next stopping with Squall, a filly pacer by Lather Up out of Gammy's Rockstar, a pet rock mare, another homebred, but actually for Frederick Reed.
Yep. I've got 3 for Fred this year, babies, and she's a very big filly for a Lather Up. I've had a few of them they're thick, but they're never really that big, but she's huge. And her mommy was a trick too. She was kind of a crazy thing, but this filly's pretty good natured, so good gated. Can't say nothing bad about her.
So did you train her mom then?
I did. I got her late. She went through a few trainers, but I trained her the last, and then I told him, and I actually raced her free-legged, and she went a couple races free-legged. So I told him, why don't you try to breed her and see if she'll, and this is her first one.
Yep, it sure is. I was actually going to mention the second dam, though. Although this is Gammy's Rockstar's first foal, the second dam made 224 in the late 90s, so definitely that was a lot of money.
Yeah,
a lot of money
yeah,
at the time
yeah.
what we were racing for, and produced some nice foals, so fingers crossed for her.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun. Freddie, he keeps them out at Sugar Valley, and they've done a good job, getting her growed up and that way. So Freddie hasn't had a lot of luck with babies, so we're hoping this year that I can race these things for him, and he'll have a little success.
What's her mind been like when she gets out to the track?
She's very good. She doesn't cause a minute's trouble. She's a little funny to hook, but she just don't like to stand and wait. You just got to get out, go, but other than that, she's fine.
I've noticed she's got some big wide feet on her because she's just a big 2-year-old.
She's big.
Now, when it comes to taking care of feet or shoeing, is she any different than anything else in the yard?
Nope, pretty basic. Nope, she has had no issues. Doesn't wear nothing but a pair of tendon boots, and she's been in 2-3 also.
And that is Squaw, a filly pacer. Moving on to our trotters, this is Colt Trotter, Baby Beast by Creatine out of She a Trottin' Kid, a Cincinnati kid mare. Ron, you do have some family history with this colt.
Yep, this is old Beastie brother.
And so you're referring to Beast of Delaware, who's made almost 160 and has a mark, I think 53 in a piece, and is still racing. Under you, you've had him.
Yeah, I've had it. Yeah, I pretty much had him his whole life. He left for a little bit, but he ended up back here. But we actually lost him the other night at Scioto. He choked, and he didn't make it. So we'll hope that this guy will fill his shoes.
Oh man, well I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
But tell us then what characteristics we like about Baby Beast.
Well, he's got a little. That horse was tough. I mean, he didn't like. I mean, he was a speed horse, but this horse is pretty calm. But I've kind of taught him that way. I didn't want him to be like that guy, but I hope he's got the speed he has. But we just kind of make him set in a hole, but it's he's all right. He's been in 2-9, so that's, and actually the other trotters also, but. Trot's really clean.
Any trotting hobbles?
He does wear the trotting hobbles. I just put them on him about a month ago, and just because to keep his mind right. He'd get out there and get to playing around, and he might make a break here and there. So I put him on, and he's trained very well.
We do have, I think it's just 3 trotters on our list by 3 different studs. This again is a creatine. What do you think about your creatines?
I love them. I mean, I wish I had a whole barn full of them. I mean, they just trot, and. But you know, I don't think he's here anymore, or he's maybe sterile now. I can't remember exactly, but yeah, yeah. But I'd love him. I mean, there's no corks to him, the ones I've had.
And assuming that he's also staked, sire stakes all the way down.
Yep, he's staked everything. So, and he'll get going here pretty quick too.
That is Baby Beast. Stopping with another gelding trotter, this is I'm on a Jelly Roll by Marseille out of I Just Expected a Train for the Future mare. This is another homebred, but for a different owner, Chris Hawkins.
Yep, he owns the mare, and actually my daughter owns a piece of this colt. She named him, so he'd give her a piece of him. I had a couple out of this mare, and again, she hasn't had a ton of luck. But we bred her in Marseille, and actually this is one of the colts that my son went with at Urbana Matinee. So very nice to drive, calm, and he's actually trained him 90% of the time, trained him down. So I know the Marseilles haven't been great, but we have high hopes for him.
Especially when it's a family affair, right? We've got daughter owns a piece, son's been behind him training. That probably feels pretty good for you.
Oh yeah, yep, that was good. He actually, that was his first win ever, so Parker was as excited as he was. So yeah, it worked out good. And Chris is a great guy. I've had horses with him for years, and he don't care. Ranger could drive him all year for him, and Chris would never say a word. But we're probably not going to do that when we get to the stake stuff.
When it comes to homebreds, for you as a trainer, when's the first time that you see them or have any say of what's going on? Is it really when they get to your barn to break?
Yeah, I mean, I just don't, we treat them all the same, and they get the same every care and everything. So, but till you get to the track, you just don't know what you got. I mean, I can sit here and tell you that, this is the killer bunch, and they made none of them go. I don't know, but this is a very good group, best group I've had. So we'll see.
How do we feel about him?
I love him. I mean, like I say, he's been in 2-9 also, and we'll tell how much speed he has.
Any quirks? What's his gait like?
No, I did have to treat this horse for EPM early. He would just get a little swimmy behind, and we treated him one time and put him on the daily medicines, and it was just made a world's difference in him. And he, since then, knock on wood, he hasn't had any problems. So we'll see what happens here in a couple weeks.
That is Imona Jelly Roll. Our next stop is Filly Trotter. What speed limit? This is an in-range out of Barn Diva, a Conway Haw mare. This is actually just a $12,000 purchase out of the Ohio
you know,
Selected.
I think we got a couple partners on her, but we just bought her. I just wanted to trot and filly, and we was at the sale, and I love bar hopping, and so she come through and we bought her, and but she's been tough. I mean, she was the easiest thing I ever broke in my life. About 3 weeks in, the stuff hit the apron, she ran off with me. I mean, like bad. I mean, I thought I was in trouble, and so I had to put an ear hood on her, and then after that, she has calmed down, but you still have to watch her. She can be wild.
This is
trots all the time. There's no issues with that. I mean, she, knock on wood, I don't know if she's ever made a break, but she probably will now. But yeah, I like her. Not a big filly, but we'll see.
This is in-range's first crop. Do you have any other in-range trotters in the barn?
No,
or is she the only
this
one?
is the only one.
So she's going to set the precedent for
This
you.
is my only filly. So yeah, we'll see. Hopefully she'll. No matter what happens, I think she'll make a nice fair filly. You know, maybe we'll dabble up into the Buckeye if she's able to, but that's where we're going to start with her, and then we'll go from there.
Talking about trotters and everything, we only have 3 on our list today. I mean, you used to mostly train trotters, but we've kind of switched over the last handful of years to pacers.
Yeah, I love trotters. I mean, that was kind of how I got started. Even when I was driving, you know, I drove a lot for Charlie Beaver and those kind of guys, and I just took a liking to being able to keep one trotting. And so, but now the owners, they kind of want pacers, you know. They don't like to have to worry about them making breaks and all that kind of stuff. So, but some of them still do. Hawk Chris, he loves trotters, and we'll always keep a few, you know. But I love them.
So you kind of mentioned, we're thinking maybe right now, time will tell. You never know until you get behind the qualifier and see what the next guy beside you can go in. But thinking possibly mid-tier Buckeye Stallion with her.
Yep, that's our thing. I don't even think I sire staked her, to tell you the truth. I think me and my wife decided, you know, if she could go and learn and maybe be a Buckeye filly, and then next year we can, if she's good enough, we'll stake her the sire stake.
They'll tell you where to go, right?
They'll let you know.
And that is what speed limit? Our final stop of the day is Filly Pacer Gordy's Last Chance. This is another Catch the Fire out of Gordy's Pet, a 4 stars Shark mare. Tell us about her.
Well, this is a Freddie Reed horse, like you said, and another Catch a Fire, but pretty good size and a good bodied filly. But her mommy, I don't believe's had a whole lot either. And so this is the last foal he sold the mare. So, but bred to Catch a Fire. So hopefully she's been in, like I say, 2-3, and we'll see how it works.
I don't think that the first dam has produced much, but she made over 300 in her racing career and comes from a nice family herself. So hoping that jumps in.
I had a well-said filly out of her last year, and she wouldn't go. She was not very good. And but this filly here, she's been a pleasure. She goes right on. I mean, I don't think it'll be a problem with this one.
Earlier we stopped by the gelding Catch the Fire, Go Pyromaniac, and this is a filly Catch the Fire. What are the characteristics? What do you?
Totally different. That one's hot. This one's not. She just goes right on, and you can do anything you want to do with her. Rangers trained her quite a few times too, and it's I like her.
Any boots?
Wears a pair of tendon boots. That's all she wears, and she does wear a Murphy blind, I think, outside. But other than that, pretty simple.
Do you remember what she's staked to?
She is staked, I would say, Buckeye and Fairs. I could be wrong about that, but I think there's one of them that I did the same thing as the other one, just because of the way the family was, and you know, didn't know if she was going to make it, you know. So I try to take care of my owners the best I can.
And there we go. That was Gordy's Last Chance. Ron, we thank you for letting us hang out with you this afternoon, and wish you the best of luck all racing season.
Well, we'll give it a whirl. Thank you, guys.
Well, that wraps up another edition of Freshman Focus. We'd like to thank Ron Steck and his entire crew for making the job pretty easy again this morning. So, on behalf of Ashley Daly, Matt Clark, and yours truly, hope you'll join us again next week for another edition of Freshman Focus.
This has been Freshman Focus, a look at 2-year-olds in training across the Buckeye State. Freshman Focus is presented by El Dorado Scioto Downs. Racing begins May 8th with the next generation July 5th. By Sugar Valley Farm. Looking for your next quality standardbred racehorse? Look no further than Sugar Valley Farm in Delaware, Ohio. By Prolific Equine, managing stallions and mares to create champions. By the Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center, caring down to a science. And by Wire to Wire Wealth, strategies tailored to your needs. Freshman Focus is a production of the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association.